And welcome to camp. It's almost 11 o'clock. We're really tired. Screw it, we'll just set up here. This is a levee up there. There's basically a levee surrounding this creek. And the better spot was over there, but there were some idling trucks, so we ended up setting up here. I wasn't that worried about people finding us, honestly. My only concern was more along the lines of, we know we have flooding up north. If the water came up, I didn't want to end up underwater. That's why we didn't set up at a lower spot. And basically, there's only a few small angles that we can even be seen, and we were careful with our lights, and we're getting started relatively early here. Both of us are somewhat feeling the lack of sleep. Right, Blondie? It's okay. If things get too bad, I'll fake another dental emergency and get a 0 day. Oh, I'm gonna put like googly eyes on your sunglasses and have them roll up, so it gives me that look even if you're not visible. I was actually thinking, with how much I had the umbrella down to here to like block out the sun, I needed one of those umbrellas that had like a face on top of it that was really friendly and had the words, "Why yes, I would love an iced coffee." Okay, and more farm fields. So this is more what you're supposed to do when stealth camping if you want to have less issues. Show up late, leave early, and make sure you're just not obnoxiously visible. We did just have a cyclist come along B Road here, saw us and said hello. But most of the time, if they're driving down the middle of the levee or the right-hand side, we were not actually visible where we were. So if you remember, I mentioned yesterday that the trail goes on and off of the levee kind of nonsensically. At least right here, the levee does actually have a sign saying agricultural use only, private property. However, we were told by locals that even where they have that up, they don't mind if people walk through. It's basically just trying to avoid people with cars coming out here screwing around. Today, yet another day, low on sleep, wandering into the heat. My, don't you look happy. Not awake. I played the Jon Stewart analysis of the debate last night, and so Jen's been crying a little bit, but she's better now. She had a good cry. It's all good. Now we're ready to walk. Matt hasn't had enough coffee. Matt is 2 days behind on video edits, but it's okay. Weather-wise, the humidity is coming back after that thunderstorm when we were leaving Chester. It's going up another 5 degrees today, and it looks like more the following day. And I got the ever so fun warning there may be isolated severe thunderstorms in your area that can just really spice up your average levee road walk. Obviously, since there is a lack of cover here, we don't want to be out here while there is any lightning activity. Worst case, we'll go to ground and do whatever we have to do, even if that's like knocking on a farmhouse and asking if we can huddle in their barn. Interestingly enough, there have not been that many houses out here. The occupied ones were few and far between. Mostly it's just farm buildings. We did pass a couple occupied houses last night, but you know, it was almost 10 o'clock, so lights were going out. For the last hour and a half, I was telling Jen, if I can get to somebody we can talk to and talk us into a spot and some water, we were just gonna stay there rather than pushing it the full 29 miles. But we made it. We are set up a little better. We are 28 miles from the state border. So if Jen just pulls out another big day, we could actually be over the border, but we're gonna get to Cohica somewhere. There is an industrial area where multiple people from the area have said, yeah, you probably don't want to be going through there too late. Hence why we are getting going early, even though we haven't had a lot of sleep. Plan being, get up and then get a ride off trail to a hotel, since stealth camping in an industrial area is not going to be worth it. This section has been a little samey, kind of like the CNO in that, okay, you make good progress, but by the end you're ready for something else. But again, we keep hearing great things about the Katy Trail. Going through urban areas like St. Louis is always interesting. We are looking forward to a couple of hotel days coming up. We obviously like camping, and given the choice, we will camp, but sometimes stealth camping in more occupied areas is just more stress than anything else. So I personally am quite happy to probably be staying in a hotel tonight, getting a shower and a dry bed, helps. Both of us have a bunch of skin issues going on just from the extended, sweat, humidity, heat, etc. My legs were all broken out last night from Disney rash, and even this morning they're itching like hell. The mosquitoes were pretty atrocious last night. It's a mix of these really brutal little ones that are super aggressive and just some really massive ones. The big rains seem to have left standing water pretty much anywhere. Some of the fields were literally flooded. Last night while I was hiking with the headlamp, I was constantly getting dive bombed by various bugs. It wasn't too bad as long as we kept moving, but once we were setting up the tent, we started to get bit and had to layer up with rain gear. And if you're seeing this yard and going, oh, why couldn't they have just stayed in that yard? Because we can't get a hold of anybody at 10 o'clock at night. And we never know how far we're gonna get. The nice people that have offered us places to camp, that we generally get those offers, before noon. We have talked at length how, considering the reception we have gotten anytime we do knock on a door or run into somebody outside, we know that we could be finding people who would let us camp. It's just a matter of how. There needs to be some sort of trail magic app where people can just put up that they're offering trail magic with a location and let people reach out, combined with Uber style reviews of the trail angel and the hiker, just to avoid anybody being taken advantage of by some of those trail adjacent individuals. It is really nice to be out and moving early, but oh boy, I did not get enough coffee today. Also, unfortunately, while the temperature is still quite pleasant for the moment, humidity is back with force. So I was just explaining to Jen about the Children of the Corn movie. And she was never heard from again. Theoretically, today we are actually emerging from the corn and transitioning into industrial somewhere up ahead. Never bloody fails. Finally find a place to dig a cat hole that is not a cornfield, and somebody shows up. Well, there goes that theory that they routed this to avoid the signs, because the line I have goes straight here. That looks like fun. I did that in Grand Theft Auto, but it went bad. So while I know we look like we could use a healthy huff of pesticides this morning, we decided we're just going to go on the levee rather than get sprayed. I have a Marriott account from back in the day. He literally landed on top of that tank trailer. Oh, Blondie is going to love that little baby cow. I briefly thought we were gonna have to run across this, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be fun. Real life Frogger. Okay, so we have a plan thanks to some assistance by some trail angels. We are going to get picked up at about 5 or 6 near the less than great neighborhood. We are going to be taken into St. Louis, where we have a hotel. More to Blondie's liking, we are going to have Thai food tonight, so it's not another day eating Domino's pizza, because it's the only thing we can get delivered. And then tomorrow morning we will be dropped back off at the trail. Tomorrow should be mostly walking through St. Louis, and then we can get into range of the trail angel stay that night. So that will cut a day out of our hotel plans. We thought we were gonna have to get a hotel on this side and the other side, but we've been working our butts off here. We have been having a hell of a time getting water today and yesterday. And here comes Blondie, bearer of water. Did you get it chilled to 38 degrees?
It's cold, actually.
Oh,
Nice.
And that should be our first sighting of St. Louis. We just had somebody drive by, yell, and recognize us. And this lovely spot is actually going to be our pickup for the night before it gets too late.
What time are you guys thinking about getting going tomorrow morning? Yeah,
She sleeps, I edit.
Yeah, if you feel like sleeping in and you're slow getting going, no worries.
You're limping, Blondie. And yes, if you're thinking that Taters is limping badly there, her hiker hobble is obviously in full swing. Oh!